at our fabulous roundtable with Ink and Kalan, some of the sharpest minds and sassiest tongues in the industry. So, grab your glasses for a toast or a little shade, because on Culture Couture, the conversations are always runway ready. So, co-hosts, are you ready to dish these scores out? But before that, how have you been?
Amazing. I had a beautiful week. I'm very excited for the weekend. I'm ready to go. How about y'all?
Listen, mine was fantastic. Can't complain whatsoever. Happy for the weekend. I'm in Houston. We got a break from the heat. We get our heat kind of early here, so it ain't hot right now, so I'm good.
So we're going to start off this wonderful segment called Spin the Block. And on this topic, we're going to discuss J-Lo. This Is Me Now, the movie and the tour. Watch this.
I know what they say about me. About hopeless romantics. That we're weak. And I'm not weak. But I learned the hard way. Not all love stories have a happy ending.
Time's up. Let's pick this back up next week.
So guys, this aired on Amazon Prime. J-Lo claims she spent $20 million of her own money to produce this. What are your thoughts on the songs, the dances, routine, or do you think she should retire? Tell me, Ink.
Okay. Do I think that J-Lo should retire? My first question is from what? But, retire from what? I read an article where they described her as a triple threat, one that can sing, dance, and act. And I find that singing part I got a little, a little itch about that, because the singing career is built on the vocals of literally other people. And so I'm a little concerned about that. But after watching this, do I think she spent $20 million of her own money? I do. There is a part of me that feels like I feel like this project, this film, was something about justifying her past relationships, which I didn't feel like she needed to do. I think that women should be allowed to move on. I think people are allowed to break up. Breakups happen. And something about this felt like a long-winded apology that wasn't really necessary. I will say that seeing Fat Joe as a therapist is hilarious. So off top, I'm like, is this a comedy? It wasn't. But yeah, I was concerned that it felt like a very just long apology. There's one song in there called Broken Like Me, and I challenged J-Lo to sing this live without auto-tune.
Like, what do you think?
That's just my challenge.
I definitely like the take on kind of being having permission to be a woman and go through life. However, I think it's more of her trying to keep her footing in the game, right? Like in the era of blockbuster movie concerts with Beyonce and Taylor Swift, she's trying to remain relevant, and I don't think she has to try to remain relevant because she's J-Lo. You know what I'm saying? She's like, you said that. I agree with you on the singing part. We're gonna say she has a music career, maybe not a singing career, because she is an artist, right? And she's sensitive about her. But at the same time, I think that I don't know. It was just a play to make sure that she remains relevant. But again, she's J-Lo. She's iconic, right? She defined the generation's 40 years, almost 35 years or so in the game, from dancer all the way to A-list talent in every way. So I don't think she has to try to remain relevant. Everything she does, she creates relevancy, and I'm here for it, man. I love the business move though. One thing she doesn't get enough credit for is her business savvy. I love the business move of putting up the $20 million up front. I love it. Shout out to Amazon Prime for really seeing the value in it, and I hope she runs the numbers up, man, and get her bag. I really do.
Can I just add on real quick that I would have loved for this $20 million to be an investment in the resurgence of her Fly Girl era, because I think that it would have been incredible investment to the career to the community that launched her career.
Agreed.
And I would have loved to have seen that.
So let me speak on to that, because That's the part that I have a problem with. I love J-Lo. I think her music hasn't been the same since This Is Me. And she almost caters to a different audience versus the audience that she won over with.
Look who she dating.
And you know, it's always shade on here. So mother's always going to bring something. I love J-Lo, but I'm going to have to call you out, J-Lo. From the Post nightclub shooting, J-Lo was in concert. She invited all the Latinos who were victims in their family, but not the Black victims. So, J-Lo, do better. That's all I'm going to say. You and your team, do better.
And you know what? I think I agree with you, Mother, Shannon. But I think it has a lot to do who she's dating. Listen, we already know what family he comes from, the type of people he comes from. Ben Affleck comes from them Bostonians. They don't fool with us, man. And that's just to keep it a buck. And so, in order for and he has influence. He's an executive producer. Now he's not really talent anymore on any movies. Not in terms of being the lead, but he shows his face. But I think he's trying to invest and influence her career in that regard, and it's a shame because if people like her, I'm not going to say she because I think she knows. If people like her would do their homework and really understand the cultural background of Puerto Ricanos, like Puerto Ricans, we're in there.
Clock it.
We're going to move along, and we're going to talk about some Black projects.
Let's do it.
Lee Daniels. Lee Daniels is saying Star is coming back. Lee Daniels says, love you for this. It's being written. I appreciate everyone's love. It just takes me forever because I have other projects. It's crazy. I have no idea when I created this show, the response would be like this. Grateful. Lee Daniels busy. He has made Oscar award. He has made history. His hands is on Halle Berry's Oscar. He is one of our treasured jewels in the Black Lives Matter movement. And I personally love Star. And I hate that it came off and it left us with a cliffhanger, but it was one of the memorable cliffhangers in history of television about it.
Man, I'm glad it's coming back. Again, leaving it on a cliffhanger, I always knew that the possibility would be there because there were too many questions. I think like leaving it on a cliffhanger is oftentimes a producer's or creators' way to see where the market is and see what the folks really want. And we were chomping at the bit for a few years, right? Lee Daniels is a genius. He's a flat out genius. And at first, kind of to keep it a buck, I felt I was a little like on Star because I'm an Empire guy, right? And so I thought it was going to be a kind of a piggyback. And I'm like, why are there two similar shows? Make it make sense. After episode 2, I was sold. It made plenty of sense. And I can't wait for it to come back. I think all of our treasures, all of our Black shows need to remain on as much as possible to keep our actors working, to keep our crew working, to keep the behind the scenes working, and let folks know about our experience, our creativity, and how dope we are.
So, Ink, tell me, if you chose a TV show back then, would it have been Starz, Empire, Power, or Insecure?
It's so funny that you brought up Insecure because I was literally thinking like in the conversation about cancellations, Insecure is one of those things. And I am torn between Star and Insecure, to be quite honest. With Power ended the way that it needed to. We got the ending that we needed to from Power. We're not missing anything. We didn't see 98 seasons of St. James St. Patrick be a terrible husband. We good. Okay, we got it. You know what I mean? But between Insecure and Star, I'm gonna go with Star because of the drama. You know what I mean? It was giving drama. It was giving soap opera. It was giving like people sat on the edge of their seats. It was like the red wedding for Game of Thrones with that last episode. So I feel like we missed out on a really good like wrap up. Give us one more season at least. Yeah. It kind of makes me think of what Netflix did with that show Sense8 when they had 2 seasons and they were like, well, you got to tie up these loose ends. And so they created a movie and that's how they wrapped up the series. Give us a movie, give us a 4th season, give us something, but don't leave us hanging, Lee. Come on, fight back. Where's the petition?
So let me say this. I love Insecure. It was very well written, but I hated how Black women were portrayed. Some of them was so stupid. It wasn't like girlfriends. It wasn't like living single, the fashions, the beauty. At the end, it got a little bit in there, but I watched it after it went off. I loved it. I binge watched every episode, but it irked me to my core to watch Black women portrayed like that. I'm like, we're not that dumb.
Issa, as a Issa having to help this man raise his baby, I feel like Issa deserved more. Issa worked so hard to go from We Got Y'all to being a event producer in LA who's putting on these beautifully curated events that's bringing the community together. Like, based on me being in LA, I know what that would look like for us if we could, with a Black on the Block, we got that. And so when I think of people who are curating these beautiful Black events in the community, the last thing I would want is for Issa to take a step back into her past with all this great, bright, beautiful future she has ahead of her. There was a little bit of a disservice there. I think people wanted it to be realistic, but nah.
So we're gonna move on to Who the Fuck Did I Marry? Excuse me. Ressa Tessa. This is like the major scoop and news. I have to commend her for garnering 2 million followers. All 50 video clips have hit over 1 million views instantly. Do y'all think she's telling the truth? And if you were her friend, would you give her advice, or would you mind your own business? Would you drag out a relationship, even if the person was married or openly lied to you? Or is lying a make or break in a relationship, especially in different stages, such as dating, seriousness, or marriage? What do you think?
So,
Kalan, start us off, Kalan. Come on.
Okay, let's do it. First of all, shout out to her.
Male perspective.
I think is lying a deal breaker? I think a habit of lying is a deal breaker. We're human. We might make mistakes, right? I'm gonna say something. I mean, I listened bros before, and so I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something. I feel like as a friend, I do you a disservice by not letting you know where you are and keeping you accountable, because I require the same thing, right? Is she lying? I don't think she is, because I know men. I know
Just say it. It's Black History Month.
I know niggas, man, and I know how we can be, and so unfortunately, I hate the narrative. I can't stand it because I feel like it's a trope and it's overused, but it's real life. And so dudes be out here acting a fool, man. Shout out to her for. What I want her to do is, after about maybe another few more days, take it off the internet so she can shop it, because it's a story. She needs to sell it. Because she has cultivated an audience now. I need some consulting for you. She watching this. Come on,
Lifetime. Call her for a lifetime.
Listen, somebody. She needs to get with some script writers, some screenwriters, and sell this thing, man. Because it's almost like a more dramatic, less sexual Zane book. We're just we're in it.
We love our Zane.
We do.
So, what do you think?
Come on now. Love a good Zane book. All right, off top, do I think she's lying? When I first heard about it, I was like, this could be a lie. But just like Kalan said, niggas gonna lie, fam. So I know a dude that lied about having socks. Like, you don't have to do that, okay? It's not that serious. If I was her friend, would I say anything? The part where, and this is in the beginning, where after 30 days they're living together, off top, I'm like, friend, you Gucci? You okay? Do you need a hug? I would be concerned, because I love my friends. I love my friends so much, I'm gonna have the conversation to say, baby, you okay? Like, do we need to have an empathetic conversation? Do we need to have a round table of our own where we can address what things from your childhood have you moving in a man you just met 28 and a half days ago? Help me understand. I want us to have the conversation, because I love you enough. Maybe I missed something. So tell me what I'm missing about loving you as my friend that had me miss you moving in a man after 28 and a half days. So that would be my first concern. I do think she needs to shop it around. Just like that Twitter story with the girl Zola that turned into a movie. Shop it around, baby. It's a story. There are plenty of people that have been lied to in this way. And do I think that lying is a deal breaker? Yes. Yes, I do. I don't think lying is a mistake. People lie out of fear. And what about me makes you afraid of me? If you afraid of me, we don't need to be together. So what are you lying for? What you got going on in
See,
your childhood that got you lying?
So I'm just going to tell y'all, we're the prize. So I don't have time for women who are less than smart when it comes to men. So her believing all of this, my first red flag with men, if you try to hang with me, the very 24 hours that we just met, no, you're not going to just come in and change my life instantly. You need to work your way gradually in it. That is a red flag. And I don't understand why people don't get that. So now I'm not paying attention to her, but Shop It Girl, that story, if it's a lie or not, it's a great story. And there's so many other people that have made millions of dollars lying. So girl, work your set.
So I wanted to interject, but I don't.
Go ahead. Go ahead. We want to hear
something, and I want to attack it if I can. You said we're gonna be a little shade and be messy. Let me be messy. I think it's flagrant and really it does men a disservice by only calling women the prize. I'm sorry. We catch two.
You gonna have to elaborate on that because
I think we're equally the prize. I think we're equally the prize. I'm a catch two. I am. I'm a catch two. I'm multiple degree, right? I didn't get married with kids flying around. We are equally each other's prize. So when you say one is the prize and another is a prize, it puts together power. It puts us on power dynamics. And I think power dynamics is how we get in trouble in relationships, trying to figure out who has what.
I can agree to that because I'm always a 100. But I'm still the prize, and I'm going to
periodic.
My husband or anybody I deal with, even if it's just for that moment, baby, I'm going to treat you like the best king that you've ever seen, even if it's just for a second. I know how. But we don't.
I agree with that. We y'all treat us way better. I can't even lie about that.
Yes.
I can't.
So we have to show you.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to get on to Donald Trump, who's millions of dollars in debt from all these lawsuits. So Donald Trump is saying that Black people are going to vote for him for these god-awful sneakers. So you guys, tell me, what do y'all think about these sneakers first?
I'm already upset because I know I'm going to see our people in them. I'm going to see enough of our people in them to be upset. I'm already prepared for it. I'm irritated about it. He went on to say that he knows Black people love him because he was indicted because of his criminal lawsuits. And to me, I wish there was a greater conversation about the ways in which racism actually works as opposed to it being all about celebrity and money.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we will see our people in these shoes, as awful as they are. As soon as they drop, we're going to see somebody in them. It's going to be the person that didn't believe in wearing masks. It's going to be the person that got COVID 9 times and don't think that COVID is real. It's going to be the person that say, he gave us so much money when he was president. It's going to be that person. But I'm still be disappointed.
But he ain't going to give you the money to buy those sneakers.
Come on.
So here we go. I hate them. I don't like them. I think they're dumb. But I would buy them just to flip. I would hold them. They already going for $4,000 on eBay. $4,000 on eBay. I would hold them, and in 20 years, because remember, this is something that a president made. So in 2025, a former president, 20-25 years, these things will be worth 30 to 50 grand. I guarantee
more than any Nike.
They'll guarantee for auction. So one thing, I do not like him as a politician. Can't stand him. He's an impressive communicator because he gets his message across every time, whether you like it or not. And he's a sound businessman, or has a team of sound business persons, right, that can capitalize on said fame and all that kind of deal. His message, he's always on brand, whether you hate him, whether you hate it or not. I can't stand it. I don't like him as a politician. I hate it. That's my other background is politics. I can't stand it, right? But I would play his. I would play his game. I would get his shoes and I flip them, and then my kids' college would be paid for.
So what do y'all think about this election campaign season, from the JFK days to the Obama to the Biden era? 2024 candidates. What do y'all think about this season of fashion, politics, or just do y'all think our democracy is in trouble?
The looks, first of all, the looks are not eating this go around. I hate to be that person, but when we in our Obama era, we definitely had some beautiful looks going around. I'm also gonna give it to Kamala because Kamala eats down. I'm gonna let her eat, right? But this go around, we're not. It's not giving the same energy, and it definitely is It's a reflection of what our democracy is going through. It's crumbling. It's crumbling under our feet.
It's fully crumbling. The democracy is fully crumbling. People don't even know what a democracy is, and really don't understand that we're not even a true democracy. We are a republic, and a republic lends itself historically to corruption, and that's really what we are. We are run as a corporation. Anytime a country has a credit rating, which we have a credit rating, then we are run as a corporation. We are a corporation that responds only to profit. And when profit is good, those who are in power, they're fine. When profit is down and margins are low, those who are in power are scrambling. And right now we're scrambling because profits are low. Now, regarding the fashion, listen, you can never compare any era to JFK and Jackie Onassis. Like, you just cannot. You cannot. Like, they were Americana down to the T. They were vintage Perry Ellis. They were vintage Ralph Lauren. Like they were just Americana classic, kind of iconic in their style. Because I Prez, he was cool, but he had more swag than style. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what made whatever he wore so amazing. And then we know that our dear sister Michelle, she took every dart that she could regarding showing her shoulders and all of these things and being as fly as she wanted to be. And I'm glad that she pushed back, and I'm glad she was able to fight how she did. I think their best outfit on them was the unity and their love. It emanated throughout. It emanated throughout. That was the best garment they ever could wear. And I don't think we've seen it. We hadn't seen it before. And it's going to be, I'm hard pressed to see us see it again. Just because it was truly genuine and they were friends. So I appreciate it. But this stuff we see now, man, is giving, you go to the hood mall, the swap meet, and you go to the store, to the suit store, and that's the one you're getting, that Super 120 with the little thing on the side of the little tag. Yeah, I'm cool, man. Like, get on with it. Y'all got too much money for that. Like, go call, get some suits made and get some stuff made, and because you look terrible. Terrible.
So we're going.
Sounds like that Jay-Z line. Put on a suit, get it tapered up.
Get it tapered up. Yeah.
So we're gonna jump to Black men and fashion. We would like to highlight Black men's presence in music and fashion. And I know, Ink, this is coming to you first. Lenny Kravitz, Fine Self, the icon. He won the People's Choice Icon Award.
I kept going back to that word, icon. And it means a lot of things to a lot of people. But to me, it means you've made an indelible mark by being who God created you to be. And daring to be different. When I was first coming up, a lot of people offered me a lot of deals, but they wanted me to change. My music wasn't black enough, it wasn't white enough, it didn't fit nicely inside a box, or sound like what was on the radio at the time. And I turned down the money and the glitzy promises of fame and stardom because I couldn't live with myself doing something inauthentic.
So, Ink, what do you think about Lenny Kravitz?
I think he is fully deserving of the Icon Award, truly. I found Lenny Kravitz, when I was younger, to be like a barrier pusher. He was willing to push the boundaries of what it meant to be an artist and a fashion icon and a father and a partner. And I remember being young and like singing his songs and just feeling like it wasn't pop and it wasn't hip hop and it wasn't black and it wasn't white, but I got to exist, and me and all my classmates are all singing these songs. So I think he's fully deserving of the Icon Award. His imprint on music, I mean, even his mother's imprint on acting and the, and the television and her television career, like, he comes from the lineage of strength and being an iconic person. I think that as he continued to grow in music, he's also continued to grow in fashion as well. So his looks grew with him. He was always very confident in his body and in his stature and in his hair and the way he chose to wear his facial hair and the way he's chosen to wear. Just even if we go down to the gigantic scarf that everyone thought was so hilarious, where I was like, hold on, baby, I'd wear a 40-pound scarf. Hold on, just give me a second, you know? I think his choice to push boundaries in what he did as an artist musically and in fashion, just him as an artist as a whole, he is fully deserving of that award. I also value his vulnerability in his speech because it's very rare that you hear his voice shaking. He's always very much stood firm in the things that he's had to say in all of his interviews, but hearing his voice shaking in that speech, I thought was really heartwarming because it let me know that there's still vulnerability even 35, 40 years into your career. So shout out to Lenny Kravitz. You've held the marker for sure in being an artist all around.
So Kalan, to you,
Yes.
can we talk about Usher's Super Bowl performance and Pharrell Williams and his Louis Vuitton runway collection? What did you think?
So Usher did what Usher does, man. And he did what I expected and even more, right? Like he's our brother, he's our guy. You know, he's the epitome of polish. He's he can work with anybody. Even almost 30 years in the game, the voice has not changed. It's actually gotten better. You ain't got to worry about auto-tune and nothing. Live is live. And the fact that he left the Super Bowl to go skating, that speaks volumes to who he is. He's our guy, right? And so I think it was a monumental expression and show. I love, you can tell how great our shows are by the hate that we get. And so the flip side of the coin, he didn't do enough. He brought out too many people. He was hunching on. It's a show. He's a showman. And so that lets me know that he did what he was supposed to do, and I love it. His silence was golden. And then when you talk about Pharrell is Pharrell, man. First of all, I need to figure out what he's drinking because I got a couple wrinkles that I need to get rid of. Because this man, how does he look so young? Right? He got it. Right. But he also has it in terms of fashion. He also has it in terms of creativity. He also has it in terms of creative direction. And so he stepped right in where our dear brother Virgil left. And he took it to another level. Right. To me, there could only be one other person that could potentially do what he did. And that brother, we're praying for his sanity, and that's Kanye. But it takes somebody that's a genius on those genius levels because Kanye's a genius. Pharrell is a genius, right? It takes somebody to be on those levels to make the collection the way it made it. I love the depth of models on the show. He really made sure he showed us in different ways. If you look at the collection is something that's not just on the runway. You can go buy it. I can't stand collections that are only couture and only on the runway. Like for what, right? I'm a menswear guy. I'm a fashion guy, and so I want to go get it. You wonder why people knock it off. You wonder why Inditex and you wonder why H&M and these fast fashion places knock it off because y'all ain't putting it in people's faces, right? And so I love the fact that these are wearable pieces. The outerwear, man, I'm excited. I'm excited about the outerwear. I love both of them. It turns his head. It turns the narrative of Black men on its head, right? There's a new level of masculinity. There's a new comfort in the divine, right? That they're able to express in their art, in their business. And I salute to those brothers.
So I'm going to talk about Usher in the Super Bowl. I want to congratulate him as a long-standing ATL resident. Congratulations on a job well done. I love to see Atlanta came out to Vegas and supported. It was a beautiful thing. Congratulations. I've been rooting for him for years to do this. Pharrell, what can you say? He has studied and learned so much under the best, Karl Lagerfeld. What more can you ask for? And he is implementing so many things. And the most important thing on this last day of Black History Month is the fact that we show up when we get the opportunity. Yeah. He is giving our counterparts a firsthand experience to what we do, what we like, and what sells. The masses will always come to get our flavor because we have the seasonings that rule the world. But the only thing that I will tell Pharrell, stop that, is that bring in some more people behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Because when I see the ending of the shows and you bring out all the people that make this collections and things happen in the atelier and things, I don't see anybody but yourself that is our skin complexion. So I would offer that suggestion to bring more people in, because we have a lot of talented people. They just need the opportunity. It's same as you got the opportunity. So what we're going to do is we're going to segue to a new segment called What's the Timeline? And in this, we're going to discuss current and hot fashion music and television programs on social feeds. Ink, who do you think slated for you this week?
It's giving Abbott Elementary always. If I have to think in television, like who was holding it down for me, it's Abbott Elementary. I'm really inspired by seeing the way that Janine, Quinta Brunson's character, has evolved in fashion. So in season 1, she's giving like she looks like a first grade teacher with the long skirts and like the little quirky outfits, and it's very like cookie cutter. But in this season, she's evolved. She's now at the district, and so her looks are very sleek. And also, Quinta, I see the lace front has evolved, baby girl. Yeah, Janine's lace front is eating down. Whoever's in the back doing Tyler Perry, take notes, okay? Because the way that her lace front is like, it's giving scalp this season for sure. Abbott Elementary is always number 1 in my book. I'm rooting for them to get 40 seasons. I want them to run as long as Friends, okay? I need them to have a very long season. So yeah, as far as television, that's the definite go-to for me. So
Kalan, who you think slayed for the week?
In terms of television, I love what's happening on Will Trent. The lead actor, Mr. Rodriguez, he is a whatever they have him in kind of a very much almost a Peaky Blinders kind of old to Peaky Blinders look, and it's very well crafted. I love the textures. I'm a texture guy, so I love the textures and layers that are presented in Mr. Trent, and so they eat down every time. In terms of a designer, I'm really on Houston White right now. So Houston White is a designer. He's a designer and philanthropist out of Minneapolis. He's currently showing in Target actually, and every year Target highlights Black designers. He has a phenomenal barbershop. He has a phenomenal podcast and book that's out right now. Where one of the quotes, and let me read it and get it right, and let me tell you what kind of guy he is. He says, "Human connection is the most powerful force of nature," and then we dress it up in fashion, and it becomes iconic, right? And so his looks, Houston White out of Minneapolis, his looks are very Americana meets. There's a slight edge on the trend, so he's giving ode to the '90s with the loose and the baggy, but he plays a lot with fun colors that you wouldn't think you would see out of a blue collar city out of Minneapolis, and that's in ode because he does a lot of work with the Pan-Africanism and diaspora folks, and so he has a lot of greens and browns and purples that he celebrates our heritage and culture with that. Houston White is dope, man. I love what he has. I got like 8 or 9 pieces from him this go around, and can't wait for the next collection to drop.
I love those mentions of colors.
My hottest thing of the week goes to none other than the fashion architect himself, Law Roach. Law and Zendaya has been slaying. When I say I am so proud on this last day, I'm gonna have to keep saying it because on this good Black History Month, Law and Zendaya have single-handedly given us what Hollywood royalty should look like. Single-handedly, she looks breathtaking.
Yes.
Every single time
she
comes out. Tailoring is impeccable. The ode to Alexandra McQueen and Givenchy Haute Couture, that was one of the very first collections that I watched as a child on fashion TV with Elsa Clinch. If you know, you know. And it was such a beautiful thing that he went and he took the most iconic piece from Mugler's archive and she walked that catwalk in it. Mm-hmm. It was breathtaking. I was honored last year to be a special guest and be dressed by Mugler at the Brooklyn Museum in New York. And I got to see all of these wonderful pieces up close and touch them. It was marvelous. So kudos to them. Like, y'all make us proud. Continue on, and we look forward to many more fashion moments because the culture and the couture needs you. You speak to us like nobody else does right now, and we thank you for that.
Can I make one more? Can I make one shout out? I want to shout out in the same spirit that you did. I want to shout out to Courtney D. Mays. Courtney D. Mays is the architect. She's a stylist and architect behind some of your favorite NBA players' style. I love what we've seen in professional sports over the last 6 or 7 years, right? Embracing the avant-garde, embracing kind of the fringes of fashion. It's a little, sometimes it's a little too trendy for me. I'm older than most of those guys at this point in my life, but what Courtney does, Courtney's responsible for Chris Paul's looks. Courtney's responsible for a number of different people. And I love what she does because I'm a fan of wearable art, right? Wearable stuff. Like, I want to be able to see what you've done and get inspired and go do my own version of it. And Courtney's a master at that. And so we just had NBA All-Star, and you saw her stuff, her billboards on display all over. If you know, you know. So Courtney D. May, shout out to you. You've always killing it.
Beautiful. For me, I just want to shout out real quick, especially in the culture of us talking about Risa Tisa. I usually talk a lot about music, but I think about our community very, very much. And one of the things that stands out the most about our community is our importance about knowing how to date. So earlier you were mentioning, like, we are 100, like, we're both the prize. We have the capability of being that. Well, the date coach, V Carter on TikTok, is dropping gems on what to say to pursue someone if you were in the dating world. So in the era of Risa Tisa, where y'all are just swiping right on people and moving them in 20 days later, I suggest you go follow. I suggest you go follow the V Carter on TikTok because she's dropping all the gems. She's been a date coach for almost 10 years, and the girl knows her stuff. Okay, she's out here dropping gems on how to pursue and find your partner out here right now. We need safe communities, and a part of safe communities is healthy dating experiences. So that's my little 2 cents.
And for that, since this week's category has ended, try again next week, and perhaps you will score your 10s. Until then, stay fierce, stay fabulous, and remember, fashion is not what you just wear, it's how you wear it. Thank you to my lovely co-hosts, Ink and Kalan. Make sure you follow Ink at Ink Very Well and Kalan at Senor Wapo. You can follow me at Shannon Balenciaga. Special thanks to our executive producer, FALLON and TONI, our producers, Mara and CHARDE. That's Culture Couture.